Hi, Michelle here. Welcome to today's video. What I plan on doing today is I have a few Hoyas that I have taken a look at, and they do not have roots appearing on the outside of the net pot, even though they've been potted up for several months. So I'm concerned that these plants might have root rot. Some of them aren't growing very well. Some of them have given me indicators that they might have root rot. So what I thought today I would do is I would go ahead and I would show you what the indicators are to me that these plants might have root rot. We'll go through, we'll take a look at them. We'll repot them if necessary. If they need to be, if the roots are bad, I'll show you what I do to resolve the issue. And we'll just go ahead and go from there. If you like today's video, I really appreciate it if you consider giving it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see other plant-related content from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I am really excited to hopefully achieve that goal early in the new year. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. I do like to interact with my comment section, so I will get back to you. And now on with the plants. The first plant I'm going to take a look at is this sigilatis. This is the regular sigilatis. The reason I'm going to take a look at this plant is, first off, you take it out and there are no roots on the outside of the pot, even though this plant has been in this pot for probably a year. There is new growth on it, but there are bare nodes right there. There's a couple of bare nodes. And the leaves feel pretty thin, even for a sigilatus. So let's go ahead, and this has got some water in it, so we'll just kind of keep that to the side. And let's just go ahead, and we're just going to go ahead and pour out the pond and take a look at the roots and see what we have. Okay, so I'm dropping out all the pond, and I'm going to shake free, and it looks like we actually have 2 cuttings in here. So I had forgotten about that. And the roots are very minimal, which is surprising given the fact that this plant is, these cuttings are about 2 years old. So what I'm doing now is I am taking a look at the roots. And what I'm also doing is I'm giving it just the most gentle tug, just pulling on them ever so gently. And if you notice, a lot of them are coming off. This tells me that these roots are rotted. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about doing this. You can try to salvage the roots that are on the system or on the plant, or you can do a major decision and just cut all the roots and start again. I know that a lot of people like to go ahead and try to save the roots. And there are roots that would probably be worth saving. Like there is a very thick root right here that I pull on. Nope, it is rotten because you see there's this core of the root right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the roots, and we're going to start again. We're going to get rid of this pond. We're going to put some new pond in. I will sterilize this pond later. I have a whole bunch of it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, over here, we're just going to trim all of the roots. We're just going to trim all the roots and get it close to the stem as you can, because you don't want the detritus of the dead roots still on the stem. So there's the first stem. And here is a second. Now I know this may seem shocking to just eradicate an entire root system like that. But Hoyas are different than other house plants. Hoyas are epiphytic and they can regenerate roots anywhere on the stem. And they do regenerate roots anywhere on the stem. They can regenerate roots in just humidity conditions. Now we have both of these, and I'm just going to take the end off. Sometimes you want to see there is a little bit of sap at the end showing. You want to make sure that the cutting is healthy. So if you ever have any doubt, just take just the tiniest little bit and see how it shows that there's still sap. So what I'm going to do with this one is, this was pretty long and there's these two nodes right here that don't have anything. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right here. And this is going to be a cutting in and of itself. These, I don't do anything with wet sticks, but you know, what the heck? We'll put them in there too, just for the giggles and grins, and see what happens. So I'm going to push this pond over here. And I will put that in a pot later to go ahead and boil. Let's see where we're going to use this one. This one's got a wick already in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and repot it. So we're going to go ahead and take the first cutting. Now, because I cut off the roots and because this is so long, I'm going to keep a close eye on it. If any of these start to get very thin, I will go ahead and cut this in smaller cuttings and root it that way. Sometimes it is hard for the entire plant to uptake enough nutrients or enough water on a plant this long. So maybe I will go ahead and take another cutting. You know, I'm only making the plant bushy, so it's not hurting the plant any at all. Okay, so, you know, we're and when this is said and done, this is going to be a very, very nice HOYA. And it was kind of scraggly before, so taking cuttings doesn't harm the plant. It's a good thing. I've cut up a lot of plants lately due to root rot. Off the top of my head, the main ones I'm thinking of are nervosa. I had to cut that one up. So what I'm doing now is just kind of making sure that this HOYA has enough pond to keep the cuttings in place so that they don't fall out. If they would be have a tendency to fall out, I would put what's called a strawberry fork. And this is a strawberry fork. It's also called other things, but you know, I grew up on a farm. We call them strawberry forks. I can't, my brain doesn't function to call them anything else. Okay, so this is the sigilatis that we cut up, that we're going to reroot, that we're going to see what happens if these plants get dehydrated at all. I will take longer, or I will take shorter cuttings of this. Whoops. And I do think we need a strawberry fork for this one cutting. And to use a strawberry fork, all you do is position it over the node and pin it down and then press it into the substrate, and then it's pinned into place. So we got this one, so we're going to go ahead and put it over to the side and say one done. The next Hoya that I am a little concerned about is this krohniana black. And it doesn't look bad, but actually on the stem, there's a lot of nodes that have no leaves on them. I do see a nice root right there, but I'm not really seeing any roots. Well, maybe I am. I think I might be seeing some. I think I'm seeing some new roots. But let's just go ahead and try taking this out. We'll take it out while it's connected to the trellis. I don't want to take it off the trellis unless I absolutely have to, because that is a monumental pain in the patoot. Okay, so now let's hold on to it. Let's take the pawn off the roots. And I'm holding on to the can't talk today, the trellis. Okay, so here are the roots for this plant. And I'm pulling, and these are what I would call very friable roots. They pull off really easy. But I see a lot more healthier roots in this plant than I did in the sigilatis. Okay, now I'm going to take my scissors and trim. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to focus my attention on the main roots of this Hoya. Like this right here is what I would call a main root. This right here that just broke off in my fingers is what I would call a secondary root. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to leave the primary roots and cut off the friable secondary roots. And sometimes it's a little easier said than done. So let me turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. But as you can see, I am slowly taking away the root system. I'm going to leave. Hi, video editing Michelle here. Unfortunately, what happened with this video is when I was editing, instead of processing the video, it overrode and deleted it instead. It was a naming issue. So unfortunately, you're going to see me skip directly from the krohniana black straight to the elliptica. I'm missing about 10 minutes of footage. I really apologize. I don't know. I tried to recover it, but it's long gone. I didn't want to just kind of skip over it and not let you know what was going on. So that's the issue. And I apologize. And I hope the rest of the video is still worth watching. So thanks. And let's go on with the video. Sorry about that. My camera went dead. Where I was I am installing it's not a stereo. I am going ahead and positioning the cuttings around where I can attach them to the trellis, and kind of positioning one at a time on either end of the trellis. So I have 2 on one side and 2 on the other. I'm trying to be very careful with this because the elliptica is a very sensitive Hoya. The leaves are so thin. I've already knocked 2 leaves off and ripped the third. So I'm not exactly being cautious and careful, I guess. So I'm also using my shears to go ahead and poke a hole in the pond. And then as I poke the hole in the pond, I stick the cutting in the opening. And that's how I fit these cuttings into the pond. So I'm just going through and trying to think as I'm putting these cuttings in, what makes this look aesthetic? How will this look after it's grown in? And there's the leaf I ripped off. So that's what I'm trying to think as I put these cuttings in. But there's only so much you can aesthetically do with cuttings in a 5-inch pot. Sometimes they just have to kind of go where they will fit. Or nature kind of predestines them to go. I am wondering what I saw. Plant and Yoga with Rose. I love her. She did a video about her plant goals for 2024. And I think that is just such a wonderful idea. I think I'm going to steal her idea. I'm not going to steal it because I'm giving her full credit. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do the similar thing and make some plant goals of my own for 2024. But what do you have planned for your plants in 24? Are you one of the people who have reached your peak capacity for plants or for Hoyas? Or are you still new to the hobby and still in the upswing of collecting? What are you doing? What do you see? Where do you see yourself in 2024 with your plants? For me, for 2024, I definitely see myself with my plants. I'm not getting rid of them or anything like that. That's definitely for sure. I don't know how many new plants I'm going to get for 2024 because my space is such a premium now. I don't have room like I did in the past. So, I have to be more picky as to what plants I do, bring home. My Millsbow cabinet is massively, massively overgrown. And I need to take plants out of there. But that will be a subject for another video because I don't really know how to do that one. That's going to be hard because there are so many Hoyas in there and there are no other real places to go. So they're going to have to come out of the cabinets. But unfortunately, coming out of the cabinets in my house means going to 30% and below humidity. That's not something that all of my Hoyas can get adjusted to. It's something that a lot of the Hoyas can get adjusted to, but not all. So I have to kind of see what Hoyas I can put out in the open. You know, how do they fare? I cannot get this to go. I cannot get this to go in this pot to save my life. So you know what? It's not going in there. So it's getting made into its own cutting. Okay, so now I have just these two little cuttings left. My plant goals for 2024 are to go ahead and involve myself in plant videos more. It's kind of a weird time because a lot of people are cutting down on their videos, or are entirely stopping. So this is what is the remains of my Hoya elliptica. These will just go away. So I think I recovered pretty much enough of the plant. It looks pretty good. The leaves, I'm happy to say, are mostly only sun stressed right now. I don't see any leaves anymore that are diseased looking. They only look sun stressed now. So that's a big improvement. I do have one or two leaves like this one right here that still have some browning on them, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in its pot, and I'm going to call this one done. Finally, after like 30 minutes, I got it done. Now, what a mess. So I'm going to shove all these plant detritus over here. So now the next plant is the undulata. And I know you're thinking, well, Michelle, you're always talking about how good this plant's doing. And I was, and then I took a look and I'm like, there's no roots growing out of the pot. And by this time, there should be roots growing outside the pot. So let's take a look. Oh, these don't look good. These don't look good at all. These look like crap. Look at these roots. These roots are all, I call these mesh roots. See these roots? I don't know if you can see them a little better on this side, but they're just mesh. They pull off pretty easily. They're wet. They're just not very viable. So even though these roots are good, I'm going to cut them all off, and we're going to start the Hoya all over again. We're going to start the Hoya straight from a newly rooted plant. We're going to get rid of all these roots, and we're going to start again. Okay. Let me trim the stem. Okay. Stem is dead at the end. Now, not much needs to emerge in terms of sap. Just a little. It just has to show. And that's no. I have a scary situation. I've never encountered this before. I have a HOYA that I'm cutting up the stem, and there's no sap. And I'm afraid that I just killed the plant by cutting up the stem because I cut up all the stem. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I think I did a really bad thing. I think I just killed my undulata. Damn. And I can't take any cuttings because there's no internode space. Okay, well, gonna put my big girl panties on, and I'm gonna go ahead and put more pot in, and we're gonna do this the same as every other one. Definitely need a strawberry fork for this one. Oh, I am hoping that this one survives. Won't even stay in there. This one may need to root in water. Yeah, this one's going to have to root in water. Okay. Let's go to the next plant. The next plant is not something I need to take apart or repair. This is just a plant I have to take apart because my daughter and I are splitting it. So this is in soil. It's nice soil. It's very, very light soil. So I'm just working it loose. And I would normally put this in tree fern fiber. So I may do that. I'm just teasing these two apart because the roots are intermixed. Okay, so we have two sets. So we have this one right here, which is going to go right back into the pot it came in. And then we have this one right here, which is going to go ahead and go into another pot with tree fern fiber. So I got the pot. I don't have the wick. Or no, I'm going to put it in tree fern fiber. So let me go ahead and get the tree fern fiber and that way right back. Okay. I got the clear vessel for my undulata. I'm going to put it in this right here. So it'll have to, the jar will have to stay very full. We have 2 elliptica cuttings. I'll just put that in the water too to root. Okay, now that we got this one in, I'm going to go ahead and put the tree fern fiber in this one and pot this up for my daughter. I really like tree fern fiber. It has great airiness. It retains water. It doesn't retain water as well as I would love it to. It does get dry fairly easy, but if you use it in a cabinet, then you don't have to worry about it as much. And I keep it in a cabinet and it stays wet for a couple of weeks. I read just yesterday someone talking about a system where you put leca on the bottom and then tree fern on top, and you keep a reservoir, I think you keep a reservoir like you do with leca or pond. So here is this is a finlaysonii black. It doesn't have a trellis right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little clip and we're just going to clip it together like that. So that is the finlaysonii dark. Now the other one is going to go back in the pot it came in. I can't really use the soil. I will try. I got about half of it. I'm getting more tree fern fiber Monday, so this little tiny bag is all I have left right now. So I have to kind of conserve carefully. So back to, I was talking about YouTube, plant YouTube specifically. And it was kind of interesting because in the past few weeks, several plant YouTubers have kind of decided to either not do plant YouTube anymore or just to not do YouTube at all. Betsy Begonia switched her channel, Planting Ashley, Wolfgang's mama, Unplant Parenthood, Kevin Hakuna La Plata. He didn't get pregnant. But there are so many people in the plant community right now of YouTube that are making decisions to not do YouTube like they did before. And then I'm coming in and I'm saying, I want to do YouTube. So it's kind of a different situation. I kind of don't really know what to expect. I am thankful that and this is, before I get any further, this is my finlaysonii dark. Now, the next plant, and almost the last plant, is my Irina. And the reason why I definitely need to check this one is it's barely growing. A lot of the leaves are yellow. This thing doesn't grow. I've had it like 3 years. I know it's got root rot. I mean, I know it's got root rot. I feel it in my bones. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Well, there's a couple of roots, but they're super duper fine. Here, I'll just go ahead and dump into the middle. Root ball feels fairly dense at the bottom. So let's go ahead and take a look at the roots. Try to get this out of the way for you so I can, they're kind of trashy, but they're, yeah, they're trashy, all right. See how fine these roots are right here? And see how they just pull. But see how you could pull on this root and nothing happens. That's a good root. That's a good root. These roots, not good roots. So this is basically a big, there's the string. Oh, and there's soil in the middle. That's interesting. That's probably what the problem is that soil in there. Yep, that's the problem. See, there's soil in there, and there's just dead roots. There's nothing in there. I have to, yeah. So we'll chop these roots off. Get that stem cleaned off of all that dirt. Yeah, let's see, there's all this dirt on there. So the roots didn't really transfer from soil roots to pond roots. So that's why. And I never ever checked it. Good for me, bad for me. And I'm definitely afraid to trim another. What is the deal with the... Okay, so here we go. We got this. I think this should be fine to reroot as is. I prefer to let this grow as is because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 9 nodes on it. So I would like to be able to hopefully get those to maybe produce some leaves. So here's my pot. So as for my entering the YouTube sphere, I wonder what goal or what I need to fill. What niche do I need to fill? What purpose do I need to satisfy at YouTube? Is it HOYA care? It seems to be that everybody loves videos about HOYAs, and I love HOYAs. I mean, I could talk HOYAs all day. is it, do you want to see everything about all plants? You know, what in this changing atmosphere, because a lot of people are getting out of the plant hobby. It's run its course. It's not the pandemic anymore, and you're not trapped in your house. Whatever it is, people are deciding that plants are passé. That's not me. And hopefully it's not you watching me. But what is it that you want to see from me? Because I want to be able to fill a void left by some of the people that are not able or willing, because they've given of themselves for a very long time. What do you want to see? Please let me know. Because these are the things I think about when I'm going to plan YouTube videos and, try to think of topics that I want to film. I think of these things. Think all sorts of crazy things. But that's just me. All right, this looks better already being trellised. This Hoya actually was growing in between two shelves, so I had to go and extract this, I guess would be a good word to put, from my shelf, from one of my cabinets. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Looks pretty good. It's still got a couple of damaged leaves, mainly right here and right here. But these leaves look pretty good. So we'll put that down here. And that's pretty good. That's plant number 5, I think. I think we only got one more to go. And yes, we only have one more to go, believe it or not. We are done with pond. All we have left is this plant. This is a verticillata type Hoya that I got from a local plant shop, and I never took it out of its cocoa husk. And I am not a person that does well with cocoa husk. I know that a lot of people really love it. I am not one of them. And I never took this plant out of it. So I have some leaf droppage. So I need to repot this into something else. And what we got here? I soaked this for about an hour and a half in just a ton of water to hopefully loosen the roots. And I don't think they're going to loosen. I think I'm going to have to reroot this, which is why I put this with this video. Is most of the time with cocoa core, you just have to reroot the whole thing. It's just bottom line. It's easier, and I'm thinking that's going to be what's going to happen with this plant. It doesn't exactly have the best root system anyway, so it's not going to be missing much. I mean, that's it. That's not much for having it. I mean, it was a plant of mine it's been a plant of mine for 3 months, 2 months maybe. And all it's got is that for a root. We're cutting them off. Because it's my philosophy that if you cut off the roots, it will create a new root system that is stronger and more resilient than the system that was the yucky system that was in place. What other things are you interested in seeing? Please put them in the comments below. What kinds of topics you'd like to see covered this year? I like to get your ideas of what kind of topics you're interested in the most. Is it, repotting videos? Is it topic videos where I cover specific things? Is it top 5 videos? Is it things like that? What kind of things do you want to see from my channel? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And I think I got everything set for this plant, but I did not get a wick. Great, got a wick. So I am going to root these in water instead of rooting them in a pot. So that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I repotted some plants that all had root rot. I hope you see that it's not a scary thing. It's not the end of the world, at least for a Hoya, when you get root rot, because it's kind of an easy fix. It takes some time for the new root system to develop, so you do have to be patient, but it will redevelop. Give it a month or two, and you'll be having new growth and be wondering why you even worried about chopping off the roots to begin with. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video and for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.